For more, our international affairs editor, Rob Parsons, joins me on set now. Hi, Rob.
Hi.
So there's a sizable body of conservative and opposition MPs alike who want Boris Johnson to leave now. So do you think he's likely to be pushed out?
No, probably not. You're absolutely right. There is a sizable body of MPs. The ones that matter in the Conservative Party. Are they enough to get rid of him? Almost certainly not. Although a former Prime Minister, John Major, who served from 1990 to 97, is saying he really ought to go in the interests of the country. But I think the mood in the Conservative Party at the moment is that after all the instability of the last few weeks, they want stability. They want Boris Johnson to stay on as caretaker Prime Minister, just to keep the ship sailing forward whilst the procedures are put in place for an election of a new leader and the election of the new leader goes ahead. So I think at the moment their point of view is don't rock the boat. Precedent is with that point of view as well. The last two Conservative Prime Ministers also had to resign, David Cameron and Theresa May. Both of them stayed on as caretaker leaders of the party and as Prime Minister until a new leader could be found. So the precedent is there. There has been a lot of criticism. There will continue to be a lot of criticism. Boris Johnson is not the sort of person who pays an awful lot of attention to that sort of thing. So I think he's quite content to stay in the position that he's in, and probably that'll be the case until September, something like that, until this election procedure is over.
Okay, well, Rob, speaking of that election procedure and the race for leadership then, which candidates do you think are emerging as favourites, and what precisely is the procedure for choosing a next leader?
Yeah, it's quite complicated, but already we're beginning to see a pattern emerging of who's going to stand and who is not going to stand. I mean, it's Two candidates, Michael Gove and Dominic Raab, as the Deputy Prime Minister, have already excluded themselves from the race. But there are still about a dozen potential candidates in there. Front runners, I should say, at the moment are Ben Wallace, who's the Defence Minister, very popular in the Conservative Party and with MPs, Conservative MPs, but also in the wider membership of the party. According to an opinion poll carried out just a couple of days ago, he is the front runner at the moment in the party as a whole. But amongst Conservative MPs who really matter at this moment, before the election gets really under steam, Rishi Sunak, the former Chancellor of the Exchequer, who resigned just a few days ago and it set in train this process that led to the resignation of Boris Johnson, is the most popular among Conservative MPs. So those are the two front runners. Others who really have got a pretty good chance are Liz Truss, who's the current Foreign Secretary, Tom Tugendhat, who's the head of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Jeremy Hunt, former Foreign Minister, and Nadhim Zahawi, who for 2 days was Chancellor of the Exchequer and then resigned. Sajid Javid, who ran against Boris Johnson in the last leadership loss, didn't do particularly well. He's a bit of an outsider at this stage. And a couple of others who probably don't have very much chance, but Steve Baker, for instance, a very well-known Brexiteer, Suella Braverman, who's the current Attorney General, another strong Brexiteer. Those are the ones who are sort of putting their names forward. The procedure, though, is pretty complicated. It's going to take quite a lot of time. So what happens is that if you want to stand, you have to have 8 MPs who are going to back you. Once you get into the race, in the first round, you need to get at least 5%. If you fail to get 5%, which is 18 MPs at the moment, you're out. In the next round, you need to get 10%. That's 36 MPs. If you don't get 36 MPs, you're out. After that, the race is whittled down one by one. So the one who comes bottom in the next round is out. The one who comes bottom in the race after that is out, and so on, until there are 2 left standing. Then it goes outside of Parliament, outside of the parliamentary party, to the Conservative membership as a whole in the country, and the decision is made. That's going to take quite a bit of time. It's unlikely to be done before September. The parliamentary conference, the Conservative Party conference, is in October. The party will definitely want to have the whole thing done and dusted by then.
All right, Rob, sounds like a lot of cliffhangers, a lot of possibilities. We'll wait and see what happens with that. Rob Parsons, thank you very much.